What is up, everybody? Hope y'all had a great holiday season and got the new year started off right. We're officially into 2026, and I wanted to take a few minutes to walk through what we actually saw in December and how we wrapped up 2025 here along 30A. I'm here at 92 Quail Hollow in Camp Creek, and I wanted to be here for this update because where you're sitting in this market really does matter. Some areas have slowed, some are leveling out, and some are actually getting stronger. You just have to know where to look. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Colin Berry with the Simpson Group at Christie's International Real Estate, Emerald Coast. I work all along 30A, and alongside real estate, I also run a private home management company called Reside 30A. That gives me a different perspective, not just on what's listed or what's selling, but on how homes are actually being used, maintained, and cared for once the season changes. And in a market like this, that insight really matters. Before we jump neighborhood by neighborhood, I want to zoom out here for a second. Over the past year, pricing adjusted across a lot of segments. Days on market stretched and buyers took their time. But what's important is that activity didn't disappear, and as we moved toward the end of the year, contracts started coming together again. Pending listings increased and closings picked up compared to this time last year. The market didn't stop, it just got way more disciplined. One more thing that I think gets overlooked is deal activity over a longer period of time. When you look back over the last 10 years, the numbers of transactions have dropped off in a meaningful way over the past year or two. Historically, when deal volume hits those levels and then starts to stabilize, it usually points out to a reset, not a collapse in the market. And that's what we're seeing right now. Pricing adjusted, buyers paused, sellers recalibrated, but deals are happening again, which often signals we're closer to the bottom of the cycle than the top of it. Starting on the east end of 30A, we saw real momentum heading into the end of the year. Average list price stayed fairly steady year over year, while average sales prices came down enough to move inventory. Sales increased significantly compared to December of last year, pending activity jumped, and active inventory is slightly lower. That combination tells me buyers are re-engaging when value makes sense. On the west end of 30A, the pace has been a little more measured, but the direction is still positive. Sales were up year over year, days on market came down, and pending listings increased. New listings slowed compared to last year, which has helped balance supply and demand. This side of 30A tends to move a little bit slower, but it's following the same overall trend. Now, let's talk about Camp Creek. And this is exactly why I wanted to be here at 92 Quail Hollow. Camp Creek, it is in its own market. Fewer total sales, higher price points, and a buyer that's thinking long-term about lifestyle, quality, and value, while still being mindful of timing when the opportunity really makes sense. Even with limited transactions, average sales price and year-to-date numbers increased compared to last year. Inventory is up slightly, which gives buyers more choices, but homes like this don't compete with the broader 30A market. They compete with other high-quality homes in this neighborhood. Alys Beach is a good example of a market that's recalibrating here on 30A. Inventory is slightly higher, days on market are up, and December sales were slower than they were last year. That does not mean the demand is gone. It means buyers are waiting for alignment between price and the product. When that happens, activity tends to follow suit. Gulfront property along 30A continues to stand on its own. Inventory remains limited, pricing per square foot is still strong, and we continue to see significant trades, including the highest ever sale recorded on 30A and in the Panhandle this past year. While some pricing has settled, demand for well-positioned and newer Gulfront homes remains very real. WaterColor had one of the strongest Decembers in recent years. Sales increased year over year, inventory declined, and pricing held up well. That tells me buyers are confident stepping into established neighborhoods when the lifestyle and value line up. So as we close the door in 2025 and we move into 2026, here is my honest take. The market, it is stabilizing. It's not overheating, it's not cooling off, it is stabilizing. Buyers are active, sellers are adjusting, and in certain pockets along 30A, momentum is quietly building. I am bullish heading into 2026, especially in neighborhoods with strong fundamentals, limited inventory, and long-term demand. If you want a closer look at your neighborhood or how your home fits into this market, feel free to reach out to me anytime. And if this breakdown was helpful, subscribe here on YouTube. I'll be sharing more market updates, property tours, and on-the-ground insight as we move throughout the year. I hope you all enjoyed this market update and you guys had a fantastic 2025 and an even better 2026. I'll see you guys here next month for the next market update.